All right, boys and girls. Today we're gonna make a piece of art based on pointillism, which we just learned about on the video with Maddie and Dada. We're gonna be using markers today to make dots on a page to create a piece of art. But first things first, let's make sure that we know how to use our markers to make these dots. So first things first, open your doodle pad to an empty page so we can practice this. I'm gonna get my blue marker. I'm gonna open it up. Remember, when you guys open and close a marker, you open it. If you close it when you're not using it, make sure you hear it click. I open it, I'll put my cap on the end so I don't lose it. Now you'll notice that we have a tip on these markers. And when you make a dot, when we're doing pointillism with markers, my marker is going to go straight up and down like this. So I do this and I press soft, but you notice I get a very small dot, right? We don't want that tiny dot. You can, but it'll take you forever. Now, let's say I go over here and I press really hard. I can do that, but it's gonna make me a blob. Number one, I don't want a blob. And number two, it also bleeds through the paper, and we don't wanna bleed through the paper. So that's too soft, that's too hard, so we can go in between, straight up and down like the marker standing on its head, and do a medium-sized dot. You see that? Those are the size dots we're looking for. And again, we're not doing this, tap, 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 tap. We're pressing just enough to give it some shape. Now, let's practice making some straight lines. So making dots close together, as close as they can get without touching. Press down kind of hard to make a good sized dot. Because if they're too small, then they're not going to make a sound. I mean, they're not going to make a sound. They're not going to connect. They're going to be too far apart. You want to be able to see the color. You can do a curved line. You guys can practice this too. We can make a shape. We can make a triangle, etc. Just like so. I really can't color in. The point of pointillism is to not actually color in. So I'm not going to color this in, but I can fill this triangle with dots. Colored dots. And that is how we're going to color everything in this project. You color in your shapes with dots. That's the idea. And again, not tiny. That's too small. That's too big. Press. Press, press. I press, I hold, and I move. Press, hold, move. Press, hold, move, etc. Kind of like a stamp, like when you were in kindergarten. So that's our practice. Y'all can pause the video and keep going with this, but I'm gonna move on. That's a good practice. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start this project. In the end, it's gonna look something like this. Here's my finished product. I did a whole video, a whole art project just using dots. I made the soil, the grass, the flowers, the stem, the flower, the clouds, a butterfly, a sun. Now, you're not gonna have this done today. By the end of today, you should have at least this much done. But let's talk about it. First things first. Your paper is going to go sideways. Landscape. Sideways paper. Then you can take your green. And you can start by making your grass line. Again, press, hold, move. Press, hold, move. Press, hold, move. Nice, good sized dots. Not tiny, because it'll take you forever to do it. I'm gonna keep on going across all the way. Now it's not a single line. You can do a line of 3 dots. That way it's a nice thick grass line. You keep going all the way across. Underneath that, you can put some soil. I'll put brown dots. You might want to do a curved line going all the way across. And then fill in with brown dots. As you can see, I already started that here. I'll show you what I have. I already started that here. Keep on going with your brown dots until you have your soil and your grass line completely done. You guys can pause and copy this. Once you're done with that, then here's what I'd like you to have at the end of class today. I would like for you guys to have a grass line, soil, a stem for your flower, 2 leaves, 2 clouds, the sun. The sun I did with orange, and I made yellow around it. Orange and yellow together. We're gonna kind of do the same thing. You can make your flower whatever color you want, but generally try and keep everything else the same, because next week you're gonna get to add your own details, whatever you like in some of these empty spaces. Make sense, guys? So those of you working on this at home online, you can stop the video here. I'll end the video here, and you guys can work on this project. This is how far you're gonna get this week. Next week, we're gonna start here and finish it. Okay, we'll make another video for next week. See you later.